Hello everyone. In the last class, we have seen Fermat's theorem and Euler's theorem. In this class, we are going to see the next section, accounting principle. Here, we are going to see another important 10-mark question. So, listen carefully. A counting principle definition is if h, k are two subgroups of G, then let hk is equal to x belongs to G such that x is equal to hk for h is belongs to capital H and small h is k is belongs to capital K. Here two subgroups of G, we have to say the multiplication, that is hk is equal to, we have to define like this, hk is equal to, we have to take one element from G, that element is represented by hk. This h is belongs to capital H, this k is belongs to capital K. This is very important 5 mark or 10 mark question. So you have to listen for the theorem statement. Statement is hk is a subgroup of G if and only if hk is equal to kh. Here we have the if and only if condition. So we have necessary part as well as the sufficient part. For the necessary part, you have to assume that hk is a subgroup of G. We have to show that hk is equal to kh. Similarly, for the sufficient part, you have to assume that hk is equal to kh. You have to show that hk is a subgroup of G. We have to come with the proof. Necessary part, we have to assume hk is a subgroup of G. So we have to prove hk is equal to kh. Already I explained left hand side is equal to right hand side means we have to take one element from this element hk. So x is belongs to the same kh means we can say hk is a subset of kh. Similarly, you have to take another element from kh. You have to prove that same element is belongs to hk. So we have to say kh is a subset of hk. So easily we can say hk is equal to kh. The same process here we have to follow. So the first we have to take element from hk. X is belongs to hk. By our assumption hk is a subgroup, so surely the inverse will be exist. So x inverse is belongs to hk. So x inverse is equal to hk because x is belongs to hk. So inverse is also in hk means hk, by definition of hk is equal to x belongs to hk. So by the definition here we have to apply h inverse is equal to small h into k. So both the side we have to put inverse. X inverse, the whole inverse is equal to hk, the whole inverse. Already we know that AB the whole inverse means AB inverse into A inverse. So K inverse into H inverse. So X inverse the whole inverse can be written as X. So X is equal to K inverse H inverse. So K inverse into H inverse is belongs to KH. So here x is belongs to kh. Since k inverse is belongs to k, h inverse is belongs to h. Similarly, k and h are subgroups, so inverse is also exists. So both the elements is belongs to k and h means, so x belongs to kh. So easily we can say hk is a subset of kh. The next we have to take the element from kh. Let y is belongs to kh, y inverse is belongs to kh. The same process, kh definition kh, y inverse is equal to kh. Both the side we have to put the inverse means y inverse the whole inverse is equal to kh the whole inverse. So y is equal to h inverse k inverse. H and k are subgroups, so inverse is also exist. So h inverse k inverse is belongs to hk. So y belongs to hk. So 4 and 5 we get kh is a subset of hk. From 3 and 6 we can prove that hk is equal to kh. The next we have to come with the sufficient part. Let hk is equal to kh. We have to show that hk is a subgroup of subgroup. So already we have seen one lemma. That lemma statement is H is a subgroup of G if and only if the closure property and inverse property will be satisfied. So closure property and inverse property will be satisfied means we can say H is a subgroup. So that lemma we have to appear here. So we have to show that closure property and inverse property. So we can easily say HK is a subgroup of G. So here we have to take HK is a subgroup, that is we have to prove HK is a subgroup. By our assumption HK is equal to KH if H is belongs to H and K is also belongs to H. So we have to write the definition HK as well as KH. HK is equal to X belongs to G, X is equal to HK, H is belongs to H and similarly K is belongs to K. Another definition KH. For KH you have to write X belongs to G, X is equal to K1 H1. For H1 is belongs to H and K1 is belongs to K. Then by our assumption HK is equal to KH. So some element may be equal. Both are equal means by the definition of HK and KH some elements is also equal. So you have to take that element HK is equal to H1K. Suppose you have to take two elements. Now we have to show that the closure property as well as inverse property. So for closure property you have to take two elements X and Y. So XY belongs to HK means we can say the closure property is satisfied. So you have to take X is equal to HK in the form of definition. HK is equal to X belongs to G, X is equal to HK. So X is equal to HK and Y is equal to H dash K dash. So both are belong to HK. So we have to find out the multiplication XY. XY is belongs to HK means the closure property is satisfied. So you have to come with XY. XY means HK into H dash into K dash. Since KH dash is belongs to, here you have to write not H inverse, H dash. So you have to change your note also. KH inverse is belongs to KH. KH inverse is belongs to KH means by our assumption KH is equal to HK. So we can say KH inverse is belongs to HK. So KH dash is equal to, here you have to change that inverse by dash. So KH dash is belongs to HK. So by our definition HK we have to write H2 into K2. So KH dash is equal to H2 into K2 because already we are defined HK and H1 K1. So here we have to write HK is equal to H2 K2. So by our seventh equation will implies XY is equal to H. Instead of KH dash, you have to write H2 into K2. So H2, K2, K dash. Anyway, this will belongs to HK because H2 is the element of H. K2, K dash is an element of K. So both will be belongs to HK. So HY is belongs to HK. Therefore, we have to say closure property is satisfied. Next we have to say the inverse is also exist. Let X belongs to HK. What is our X inverse? X inverse is equal to, by the element HK is equal to, we can write HK. So both side we have to put inverse means HK the whole inverse. So K inverse into H inverse. K inverse into H inverse is belongs to KH because K inverse is belongs to K, H inverse is belongs to H. So KH is equal to HK. So X inverse is belongs to HK. So there is an element X belongs to HK. There exists an inverse is also in belongs to HK means we can say inverse property is satisfied. So here we have to say closure property is satisfied. Similarly inverse property is also satisfied. So easily we can say HK is a subgroup of G. For this we have to see one corollary. Corollary statement is if H, K are subgroup of the abelian group G, then HK is a subgroup of G. Here they are given H and K are subgroups of the abelian group G. So we have to say the abelian group G, then we can say HK is a subgroup of G. So our condition is H and K are subgroups of the abelian group G. So since G is abelian, HK are subgroups means we can say HK is equal to KH. So for every H is belongs to H, similarly K is also belongs to K. So HK is equal to KH means will implies capital HK is equal to capital KH. So by using the previous theorem, HK is equal to KH means if and only if HK is a subgroup of G. So by previous theorem we can say HK is a subgroup. So listen carefully girls. This theorem is also very important. If you have any doubts, ask me. In the next class, we have to see the next important 10-mark question. So up to this, you should be clear means the next class will be very easiest for you. Thank you.